What is going on, everyone? Anthony Drew Gary here, host of the How To Show, where we talk about optimizing life, money, and happiness one how-to at a time. And this week on the show, I want to spend some time reflecting, really. I am a pretty avid consumer of podcasts, vlogs, basically content that can help me improve my life. And when I hear something that I think is rather remarkable, or I've never heard something thought that way before, I will open up a notepad in my phone and just jot it down real quick. And they're usually just one-liners, one or two sentences. And so today, in a reflection sort of way, I want to share the best of the ones that I heard this year with you. And again, usually I do this from a notepad in my phone, but since I'm using my phone to record, I've got them set up on the screen right over here. And so if I'm looking this way, that's because I am reading from the screen. Have no fear, I will take it nice and slow so that you can catch all of them, but I will read them fast enough so that you don't get bored. And so just stay along with me because there's some good nuggets. And I do not, unfortunately, have citations for every video or every podcast or article that these came from. Or to give the proper credit to the folks that came up with them. Just assume that I didn't come up with any of them because I rely on people that are smarter than me to get through the world. And I think that's a good way to live life, to be honest with you. And so, without further ado, we're just going to jump into this because I think this is a lot of fun. I'm really excited to do this. So, the first one, and I won't preface them all, but do not confuse cost of living with standard of living. Stay away from people who act like a victim in a problem they created. Happy people look at their past and tell themselves a heroic story about their role in it, and unhappy people look at the past and see themselves as a victim. Most people think their compensation is based on how hard they work, when in reality it's about how hard they are to replace. And we're going to go all over the place here. We're going to get, job, life, spirituality, all of the above. We're going to cover a lot of things. And we're going to jump back and forth because this is really the order in which these showed up in my phone based on when I heard them. We are most qualified and equipped to help the person we used to be. And I know that one's from Ed Mylett. Huge shout out to him because I love his content. I cannot lose if I do not quit. Are you giving up your goals to meet your behaviors? Or are you giving up your behaviors to meet your goals? Stop and think about that one for a minute. That'll really get you. If a girl gives you her phone number, read it back to her with one wrong digit. If she corrects you, it means she's actually interested. Your lack of self-confidence comes from breaking promises to yourself. A nice reward for good work would be higher pay or extra time off. Instead, most bosses reward good work with more work, and then wonder why people don't go above and beyond. The difference between a leader and a guy just taking a walk is followers. You know why it's okay to give away your best knowledge? Because 99% of people won't do anything about it. And the 1% who will, their time is so valuable that they'll want to hire you. You cannot subsidize irresponsibility and expect people to become more responsible. Our forefathers died for your pursuit of happiness, not your sit around and wait for happiness. Too many people spend their lives being dutiful descendants instead of good ancestors. The responsibility of each generation is not to please their predecessors, it's to improve things for their offspring. It's more important to make your children proud than your parents proud. Take a smart person to breakfast who is walking ahead of you on the path you want to be walking on. High-end breakfast costs $50 for two people. The average cost per credit hour at a public university is $312. Sounds like a bargain. Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like hard work. Europeans have out of offices that say, "I'm camping for the summer. Please email back in September." Americans have out of offices that say, "I've left the office for 2 hours to undergo kidney surgery, but you can reach me on my cell if you need to." Things are reasonably good, and getting incrementally better does not make a good news headline, even if it's true. Remember that. People should be retiring towards something, not away from something. If you hang out with me for too long, I will brainwash you into believing in yourself. Ask for things. State it as, "I would love it if you could," fill in the blank. This one's a little longer, but it's a good one too. There is no freedom without financial freedom. That is today's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you are financially free, then you can actually get the most important freedom, which is ideological freedom. Meaning you can say what you actually think, do what you believe is right, and you can stand up for your moral compass. But until you have financial freedom, it is really scary to stand out from the crowd, especially in today's world, because you don't get kicked out of one crowd, you get kicked out of society. If you aren't sending emails that are being unanswered, it means you aren't trying hard enough. If you don't have an executive assistant, you are one. Some of the best things in life are on the other side of difficult conversations. Growth is the acknowledgement that your current state is not good enough. Therefore, a prerequisite to growth is humility. Don't treat your family as some noble obstacle. If you're a father, you should be with your family. That's right, true, and good. But if you're using them as a pawn for your game of mediocrity, then it's a problem. I have a lot of guys who reach out and say, I want to do fill-in-the-blank activity, but I want to spend time with my family. What, you don't think I do? Was the response to that. When working with people, the more general your question, the more onus you put on the other person to figure out how to solve your problem, which gives them less incentive to do it. The more specific of a question you're bringing, the easier it is for them to help you. And I say this because a lot of well-intentioned people probably have no idea how their question comes across to the person they're asking it of. Families don't lay off their family members to save costs. Don't be more loyal to work than those who truly love you. Either you're rising or you're falling to the demands of your situation. This one's a way to decline an opportunity. And it says, I'm very flattered that you thought of me. It seems very interesting. However, I'm unable to do it because I'm working on a project right now that is demanding all of my attention. Grandma said sometimes you have to hug the people you don't like so you know how big to dig the hole in their backyard. Grandma was vicious. Nothing will kill a great employee faster than watching you tolerate a bad one. The stock market is the only market where everyone runs out the door when everything goes on sale. Keep all the stones they throw at you. You have castles to build. Believe that's Taylor Swift. 20 seconds of insane courage will accomplish most things in life. Quality is remembered long after price is forgotten. You will never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks. Conversely, remember that dogs don't bark at parked cars. If you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect anyone else to believe in you? Do your most fearful thing first, and everything else will become easier. A person who chases two rabbits catches neither. There's nothing so useless as doing efficiently what should not be done at all. You cannot fit in and stand out at the same time. When you're served a crap sandwich, don't chew. If I haven't failed at something today, then I haven't done enough. You can have a mentor that doesn't know you exist. I can attest to this one. I've got tons of them. They're in podcasts, books, you name it. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. I may not be a 10 on a beach in Florida, but I'm definitely a 10 in an Illinois Dollar Tree. Success is when the life you're living matches your expectations and vision for it. This is for the college kids. In terms of the courses you take the best professor. You will learn more from a great professor in an unrelated field than you will from a marginal professor in the field you're interested in pursuing. The ability to deal with people is as desirable a commodity as sugar or coffee. I think that one was Rockefeller. Don't let the opinions of the average man sway you. Dream and he thinks you're crazy. Succeed and he thinks you're lucky. Become wealthy and he thinks you're greedy. Pay no attention to him. He simply does not understand. The problems you're facing today most likely won't be around in a year, but the reputation of how you dealt with them will be. To quote the great theologian Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. There is no better way to earn trust than to own your failures. Don't be too good at a job you don't want. You think I do too much. I don't think about you at all. Don't take constructive criticism from those who have never constructed anything. Capitalism without bankruptcy is like Christianity without hell. Refuse to live in the shadows of what if. A teacher can tell you how to do it. A mentor has already done it. You're always interviewing and you're always on stage. You just may not realize it at the time. Your inbox is a to-do list put together by other people. The experience at the beach is the same for a billionaire as it is for someone who is broke. Amateurs copy, professionals steal. God isn't honored by the prayers that are within the realm of human possibility. God is honored when we ask him to do what is humanly impossible. That way, God gets all the glory. Your body is a business, and you're the CEO. Marriage is grand. Divorce is 50 grand. Knowing the answers might make you smart, but knowing the questions to ask makes you wise. The way to prevent your manager from having a false impression of what you want and need is to tell them what you want and need. They can't read your mind. Keep your boss informed about your own priorities. The quality of your life is the quality of the questions you ask. It is very hard to read the label from inside the bottle. People respond to what they feel way more than the actual words you say. The fact that there is a highway to hell and a stairway to heaven says a lot about the anticipated traffic numbers. Call me insensitive, but I'm only interested in hearing your problem once. Our next conversation has to be about solutions. What needs to be done to take no off the table? And the last one is my favorite of this year. Someone is holding their breath waiting for you to fail. Make sure they suffocate. So that was fun this year. I got to reflect on all those, read those back before I read them for the show, and it was fun to see where I'd been in my knowledge and my growth this year. And I don't have it all figured out or put together, but I rely on smarter people than me to help me with those things. And so, if you got any value out of this episode, hopefully you did. Hopefully you're still listening to this point. Share it with somebody else who might think that this is fun. It's basically one-liners for the business world, for life optimization, and just for getting the most out of life, because I think that we're all after that at some level or another. If you got any feedback, let me know in the comments down below. If you're looking to transact real estate in the Indianapolis market, or really anywhere in Indiana, get in touch with me at indydwell.com or in the comments. Share this video with somebody that you think might get some benefit from it, and subscribe to be the first to know about new content each and every Wednesday. And you'll see some of the shorts that I've been putting out on off days as well. Till next time, this is Anthony Drew Gary, host of The How To Show, signing off.